video walkthrough on used Cougar by Keystone. Previous owners did install a backup camera. We are unsure if the camera, well, I'm unsure if the camera screen is inside or not. But they have provisions. You can see where he wired it. If you wanted to replace the camera with a Furion branded one, you could do that. Short cord inlet comes through here. It's built in, so you can't ever lose it. Just pull it out when you're ready to use it, and push it in when you're done. Cable inlet, if you're going something that provides cable, you can hook it up through here. Bumper caps come off, perfect spot to store your sewer hose. Water heater, super simple, all set up for you guys to use it. Just hook up water, start filling immediately. And then once it's full, you can turn it on and run it. I always recommend draining it after every trip. So before you pull your anode rod out underneath there, and that's 1/16 is the socket size. I like to use this socket with an extension to get that out. You want to pull your pressure relief here, pull it all the way open. Water's going to squirt out. Once it stops squirting out, snap it closed, and then you can take that plug out. Like I said, 1/16. If you neglect to do this first, all that pressure is going to come out of there, and you're going to get wet. And then switch down here. If you want to run electric, make sure it is under the on position. On is in the down position. And then clean in here, and then clean the burner area quite often. Got a stabilizer jack over there. You have one in all four corners. That's meant for stabilizing and not trying to pick up the unit. Fridge vents, just look in here. Make sure they stay clean. Same for that one up there. Exterior range vent. Move these little clippies out of the way. You're good when you want to run the range fan when you're traveling. And I like to snap it closed overnight so no insects get in there. Furnace, keep it clean. They do have this screen on here. I would recommend taking the screen off every once in a while and just cleaning back there as well. Utility shower, you have hot and cold. Black tank flush right here. So when you're dumping your black tank, you can hook a hose up to it. Turn it on. Flush out the black tank as you're dumping it. Only doing it when you're dumping it. Sewer connection, you have black and gray underneath here with your hoses, with your valves out there. I recommend doing your black tank first, letting that get dumped, and then doing the gray. That'll flush out your hose. City water connection, this is where you hook your hose up to run city water. Fresh tank, that's where you're going to fill your onboard fresh tank. And then you use your pump to run off of your fresh tank. Definitely recommend draining your fresh tank after every trip. So right there, that's your drain for your fresh tank. Like I said, stabilizer jacks, all four corners. You can use a 3/4 inch socket with a drill to run them. Just you want to lubricate them often if you're doing it that way. Just for stabilizing it. If you want to level it, use your tongue jack to get it level. Pass-through storage here. That's your manual crank for your stabilizer jacks. A lot of good information here. Tire pressure. You want to check it often, but they are filled to 65 psi now. You got your VIN, cargo carrying capacity, your gross vehicle weight rating, all of that. It's important stuff right here. Now, back here, it's very difficult. It's going to be very difficult to do one-handed while filming. So I'm going to do my best to explain it. Back there, there's two propane cylinders and a regulator with a valve on it. Not a valve, but a changeover. It's going to be pointing to one tank or the other. That's your automatic changeover regulator. So if one tank were to get emptied and if the other one were to be on, it'll automatically switch to pulling from the other tank. However, that little deal on there, here, let's see if I can't even just maybe pivot it down some so you can see. There you go. Perfect. So it's pointing to this tank. It'll pull from this tank first. If this one were to be on, it'll automatically switch to pulling from this tank. However, this doesn't move, indicating it has switched. So keep that in your mind. And then back in there, you see your battery. I definitely recommend taking the battery out in the winter. It's going to keep the cold from doing anything, causing it to... the cold is harsh on these batteries. Excuse me. And then some people have that split in the middle, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. It doesn't work that way. It's one or the other. Lock that one. Lock that one. Tongue jack, manual. You can upgrade to a power if you want. Same way, this will get hooked to your truck. That allows the lights on it to work. Lights on the trailer and the turn signals and the brakes. Chains across them. Make sure you hook your breakaway up. That's hooked to this box right here. If the trailer were ever gone hooked, it's going to pull the pin out of there, activate the brakes on the trailer. Other side of that storage. Outdoor outlet is GSCI protected. All your GSCIs are the same circuit. If one will trip, they're all trip. And you do have a cable outlet out here if you wanted to watch TV outside. That's pretty much it for the exterior. We go to your awning. The awning is adjustable. You just loosen this right here. Grab here, pivot it down, retighten it up, and it'll pitch the corner. So if it's raining, you can have water pitch off to the corner rather than all the way along the edge. If it does start storming real bad, roll your awning up. It's not worth the wind grabbing it, ripping it off, bending one of your arms. And then if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, as soon as it gets sunny back outside, roll it back out, let it dry off. We'll come in here and start here. Thermostat controls, this changes your temperature. And then you have fan, cool, fan, and off. Cools your AC. Fan is just going to allow the fan to run without the AC component of it. Then you have your fan mode, auto high, auto low, on high or low. Just recommend leaving on auto when you run your AC. That's going to allow it to cycle on and off at whatever temperature you have it set at. That way it's not overworking itself. Because if you have it running on 55 and it's 90 degrees out and it's super humid and you have it running on a high on, eventually it'll freeze up and shut off, and then you'll have to wait for it to thaw out before you can run it again. And having on auto is going to help prevent that. Then you have controls for your ceiling lights, which just is the main row of lights. Floodlights with exterior floodlights, porch light, and then a step light right here. Awning controls right here, extend and retract. All your slide out buttons are down here. And you have your monitoring panel. You can read how charged your battery is, how full you're fresh, your black, your gray, and then your gray 2. I don't think you have a second gray tank. I didn't see one. We'll check when we leave. And you can turn your water pump on and off here. Water heater on gas, water heater on electric. If you are going to run electric, make sure that switch on the outside is in the on position, and make sure you do have water in it, or else you'll burn out the heating element. Come in through the bedroom. Oh, that slide out's not out. There we go. I had to figure out which one is it. So this one's your bedroom, this one's the kitchen, this one's the dinette. There you go. Do a quick in here. Outlet either side. Bed, you got storage underneath your bed. Carbon monoxide alarm takes your standard 9-volt battery. If your battery starts dying, throw a new one in it. It'll give you those low voltage chirps. Here's that backup camera. So you do have the backup camera. If you wanted to put this in your truck somewhere, and then it does run off a 12-volt outlet, so you would put this in your truck somewhere for it to work. And then you're going to have a TV mounted here. Provisions for mounting a TV. Just watch how long your screws are so you don't drill screw through the outside of the camper. If you're going to have any TV, not even just the one in here, running off antenna, make sure this is on. If it's cable, turn it off. Bathroom is super simple. This is the resettable GFCI. Any outlet that's a GFCI outlet, if it were to trip, you come in and reset it at this outlet right here. Shower, super simple, hot and cold. Definitely make sure you latch it before you travel so it's not swinging out freely. Your toilet is simple. As long as you're pushing this pedal here, it's going to keep flushing. And then your bathroom door, all you do is unbutton it and slide it. When you do travel, make sure you travel with it locked like that. You can get in the bathroom from both doors too. Breaker box, all your breakers for your 120 volt appliances. All your fuses for your 12 volt. Definitely recommend carrying some spare fuses. Over here, propane gas detector hardwired to the 12-volt system, so there's no batteries you have to worry about changing. Dinette. This table, well, it flips up, and then there is a small bar underneath here that you pull out. See right here? To lock the table up. Make sure you close it and let this table swing down before you close your slide out, or you're going to damage something. Dual recliners. TV, obviously installed by the previous owners. And a remote for your TV. Looks like here's the mount for the TV if you wanted to use it at home. Radio, super simple. It's also a DVD player. Standard definition DVD player. I could see the cables going to it from there. You hit power, turn it on. You have different zones. Zone A is inside. Okay, so Zone A is the kitchen area. Zone B is this area around here. And then Zone C is outside. So you can have them all on, or one at a time. Mute button here. Scan your channels here. You can also seek channels here. Presets, push and hold to save a preset. You can go through band, AM, FM. You have your pause, play, stop. DVD slot there. Bluetooth, you can hit mode. Go through auxiliary in, which is this one here. Don't ignore the second one. Ignore the third one. Ignore that. Ignore that. Ooh, sorry. This one right here, there you go. No con means there's no connection. You look on your phone, look for the S-Tone, and then that model number, then pair your phone to it. This couch turns into a bed. A little difficult to demonstrate one-handed, but you just undo the cushions, lift this portion up. It'll kind of pivot out like that and then lay flat. There's two legs you have to undo. It'll rest on the carpet. And then you just fold this back portion down. Refrigerator is super simple. On or off, auto or gas. Recommend leaving on auto. Auto is going to default to 110, so if that's what it detects, that's what it's going to use. Someone would trip over your short cord, or campground would lose power. This will automatically switch to running off of propane if your gas were to be on. So that's a nice feature. You can also strictly have it set to run on gas too. Now, unlike your normal fridge at home, this will take about 8 to 10 hours to get to operating temperature, so keep that in mind. Light, fan. Remember that flap on the outside needs to be open for the fan to actually vent anything anywhere. Cooktop, super simple. Turn it to light. Twist your sparker. Lights right up. Oven, it's a little bit different. Turn this to pilot. Push and hold. As you're pushing and hold there, you need to get yourself like a barbecue lighter. And you have to light that pilot that's back in there. Once the pilot is lit, you can set it to the desired temperature. If you're going to cook in a few hours and if you know you're going to cook in a few hours and you don't want to have to relight that pilot, if you turn it off but turn it to pilot, shuts the burners off but leaves the pilot on, so you don't have, and then you just have to set it back to temperature. Now, I always recommend turning it off if you're going to leave the camper for any reason, or when you go to bed, because you don't want to lit pilot unattended. And then a microwave works just like your standard household microwave. It's only going to work when it's plugged in. Then you do have plenty of storage throughout here and whatnot. Antenna, so all you do is crank it up. It's nice and labeled which way is which. You can feel when it goes up. And then to tune it, you can pull this down and twist. Not all the way up, but pull it down to twist, and then make sure, see how there's two separate triangles, make sure they are lined up if you've rotated it before you lower it. Because there's a special cradle on the roof it sits on, and you want to make sure it gets lined up to be able to sit back down on that. Boom. And they do have a fire extinguisher there. There's also saw another one in the bedroom. Alright, that pretty much concludes our virtual tour of your used Keystone Cougar. Actually, hold on. I'm ending it a little early. I wanted to make sure you guys see this. This is your bag of manuals. That's all I wanted to make sure you guys saw. Now, that concludes our virtual tour of your Keystone Cougar. Hope you guys enjoy using this trailer. I like it a lot. I like the setup and the layout of it. Hope you guys enjoy using it. Hope you found this video informative. And goodbye.